Hello, YouTube. Welcome back for another tank build. Um, I've been really excited to make this, and I hope you'll enjoy following along and seeing how I put this together. All right, so this is my Landon 60H, I think it's called. So it's kind of just a taller 30-gallon tank, essentially. And yeah, starting off by making this paludarium, I'm just laying the foundation down here. I'm using some bags just filled with gravel and egg crate beneath that, just so there's no scratches on the glass. Not that it super matters. It also just helps distribute the weight a bit more. I used a bunch of lava rocks. I think they're called diamond lava rocks or something or other. Anyway, they're pretty cool, and I did not necessarily film putting the initial rocks together, which is my bad, so apologies for that. But here, you'll just see me playing around. I've been kind of struggling with what type of wood to use. But yeah, that piece of spider wood that I just showed looked cool enough to me. It looks like some kind of like root system off a river edge. And yeah, as you can see, I use some expanding foam to just seal up the rocks and make everything solid. With stuff like this, it's kind of a pain to super glue, so you're using expanding foam or something like silicone, maybe even. That's way more efficient time-wise. So over here, I'm just going to be adding some detail roots. These were really good to just add more than was present, because the wood was good, but it didn't look very cohesive with the rocks. So just to make it feel more intertwined with the rock structure is what I ended up doing. And I'm just using some tissue and super glue to glue the roots together. As you can see, I would definitely use a mask when doing this, because the reaction that occurs produces some gases that you probably wouldn't want to be breathing in. I didn't necessarily record this part, but after gluing all these together, the tissue paper is a bit of an eyesore because you can still see the exposed tissue paper even after it solidifies. So to cover that up, I use some crushed up aqua soil, and I just throw some of the dust onto it and then squirt some liquid super glue on there and hope that it patches enough of it up so it's not visible. And it worked quite well. It's a bit annoying sometimes, it doesn't really work perfectly, but whatever, it's good enough. And yeah, after I got done with that, I moved on with filling up the tank. So at this point, I wanted to fill it up and test out the pump, because I've been meaning to add a water feature to this. I'm a sucker for a water feature. So yeah, unfortunately not quite smart enough to make a water feature that's too intricate. So the best I could do is drill a lava rock and pass some tubing through. So this is just me fiddling around with the flow and adding a little sponge there just to check that the flow will work out, as I'm hoping to make a little stream in the middle of the island. I just filled the back up where the pump is with leca balls. That's just so the pump is kind of protected, and the pump is also surrounded by sponges. I also did not film that, but yeah. And then after that, I threw down a bunch of pull filter sand and added a mesh window screen film, and then put some lava rocks on top of that. And after that, I was ready to plant the water section. So I prepared a bunch of different plants that I have on hand. Didn't use all of these in the end. So I mainly used crypts, some Calanthium tenellum broadleaf. I had a tiger lotus. I'm kind of hoping it grows to the surface. That's the vibe I'm going. Initially, I had some swords in there, but I decided to take them out because they just looked a bit goofy. So yeah, I took out some Anubias as well. In the back section, it was still incomplete, so I was finally ready to add some ABG mix back there, just a fluffy substrate for terrarium plants. So I filled that up, and then I took a wicking rope and I threaded it through the water feature so that it's constantly supplying some water to the soil. So hoping that's good for the plants. And speaking of the terrestrial plants, here they are. Couldn't tell you what most of these are. I think I have some pileas and cryptanthus and phytonias, and yeah, I think that's it. That's as much as I remember. So I put this piece of cork bark there that looks kind of like a log. I thought it looked pretty cool, and I just arranged the plants mostly based off vibes. I think the colors look good in the way I put them, basically, and I had just an idea of like, oh, you know, I want this to grow in the background, for example, etc. So I hope they turn out how I'd like to see them in my head. But yeah, I do really like the top section though. I think, I don't know if it's me doing a good job or just that I never realized that terrestrial plants look so good. Just, yeah, they just do a lot of the work, I think. After finishing that, this is pretty much the final product. And yeah, that's pretty much the build. This has been up and running for a couple days now. I think it's been doing pretty well. Obviously, it still needs time to mature and stuff to grow in. Stay tuned for a livestock update. I'm still waiting for it to mature a bit before I actually put any vampire crabs in here. And yeah, I should be getting some fish pretty soon though, so I'm pretty stoked about that. And yeah, hope you enjoyed. Enjoy Tubby Cat sending us off at the end of this video. Have a good one. Subscribe, like, comment, let me know how you like it, and I'll catch you on the next one.